everyone, and welcome to another Skill Sessions webinar. Thank you all for joining us today. Today we are joined by the lovely Claudia from Fitness Education Online, who will be focusing on how to build your online fitness business. Claudia is an expert in all things social media and sales, and she was also previously a PT. So if you have any questions for Claudia during the webinar, just pop them in the Q&A chat, and Claudia will be able to answer your questions throughout, or there will also be opportunity to answer any questions at the end of the webinar. And with the One CEC as well, there will be a short survey that pops up after the webinar today. So just complete that and you'll get your CEC added automatically. But Claudia, whenever you're ready, we're good to get going.
Thanks so much. Okay, so I can see everyone's from Melbourne and Sydney. So one thing I would like to do before we get started is just share with me what you'd like to gain out of this webinar. What's your one burning question? If you guys can quickly write that in the chat. And then hopefully by the end of the next 60 minutes, that will be answered. But if you want to share what your one question is. Ideas, cool. All right, so we'll get started. Today's webinar is about your first 30 clients. So how to build your online fitness business. Who here actually is currently training clients online? Put a yes if you are, and if you're not, just say no. I'd love to see who here is already training clients. Cool. So a bit of a mix, few yeses and a few nos. So a little bit about me. Some of you might have already been to a webinar on mine. Some of you guys might have seen me through Fitness Education Online, but I'm Claudia and I'm a business mentor and online digital marketer. So I'm head of sales and marketing at Fitness Education Online. I've been running my business online for the last 2 years. And in that time, I've traveled overseas and taken my business completely online, which is something I'm sure a lot of you guys attending this webinar is something that you guys want to do. In the last 2 years, my online business has made over $500,000 in revenue. And today I want to show you how you can get online clients and have more flexibility in your business and in your life. So what you guys will be learning today is how to transition from face-to-face training to become an online trainer. The only 4 things you need in order to thrive with your online business, how to price the services, how to get over the objection of I need a face-to-face trainer, and how to I need a face-to-face trainer to stay motivated and accountable, and how to actually add services on to your current and past clientele to either upsell or increase your rates if they can no longer make your face-to-face sessions, as well as retention strategies for your online clients, because keeping a client online is a bit harder than keeping a client face-to-face. So which one out of that are you most keen to learn? I'd love to know in the chat. And as a thank you for coming to this webinar and giving me 60 minutes of your precious time, I'll give you 2 free online programs. All you need to do is just pretty much scan that right QR code and just message me the word ebooks, and I'll give you 2 12-week fitness programs. So you can do that later at the end and I will send that over. So the big question is, if I'm a face-to-face trainer, how do I transition online? So one of the biggest things is not just jumping straight into it. I mean, you can do that, but what you want to do is make sure you understand how much money do you actually need to keep afloat, your online business afloat. So number 1, list out what are your expenses. So at the moment, what are your personal expenses? Do you have a mortgage? How much is your weekly grocery shop? And then also I like to call fun money. What's how much do you need a week to go out, do things, maybe a gym, memberships that you have, list that all out and then work out, okay, how much is it that I need to make a month? Is it $5,000 a month? Is it $6,000 a month, $8,000 a month, or $10,000 a month, right? And then the second question you want to ask yourself is, how much money do you want to make? What is your goal? And do you still want to have some face-to-face clients while you're doing this? While you're doing the thing online, maybe you take 5 clients and the rest of the clients are online, or maybe you don't want any more face-to-face clients and you're completely online. So that's questions that you want to ask yourself to prepare this transition from face-to-face to online. And the next step is Number 3, figure out how much you're going to charge. Then calculate how many clients do you need, and then begin that process. You can do this while you're still face-to-face, so you don't have that pressure of like, hey, I need these clients straight away. I need these clients immediately, right? You can do all this when you still are training those face-to-face clients. Does that make sense? Let me know, yes, in the chat if that makes sense, if there's any questions around that. Cool. Makes sense. Love it. So next, objection. Who has ever had a client say, oh, I want a face-to-face trainer, or maybe they think this themselves. Objection, my clients only want a face-to-face trainer. And you're like, oh, okay, like no one's going to want online. They all want face-to-face because it's easier. They'll come to, like, they'll be more accountable to come to the session. Here's the truth. Most people don't understand what online coaching is and may struggle to see the benefit over face-to-face training, right? Because it's really hard to explain like what online coaching is to someone sometimes. They're like, so how does that actually work online? Like, do you call me? Is it on Zoom? What is it, right? So there's that barrier. They're like, oh, I'm also not really good at technology. So what is this online training? But what they don't understand is online training can actually be easier for the majority of people because it fits into their schedule. They can now train at their own time. They're not like locked in like 6 a.m. or 6 p.m. They can just train whenever. So it's actually more flexible. So explaining that to your client, like, hey, it's more flexible. You can do this whenever you like. And the next thing, it's more affordable than training 3 times a week with a personal trainer. Because let's say, for the sake of this argument, you charge $60 for 45 minutes. They do 3 sessions a week with you. That's $180. Maybe your online training is $50, maybe it's $80, maybe it's $100. That's now cheaper than paying that $180 a week. So it's actually going to be more affordable than face-to-face training. So you can tell that to your client when they go, but I want a face-to-face trainer. And what a lot of people don't understand is you'll actually be in more contact more with them, because after the session, maybe there's no accountability after the session. They come to the session, you don't really know what they're eating at home. You don't really know if they're going for walks, getting their steps up. You actually can keep someone more accountable if you're online training them through an app, through like constant messaging or like support or the Facebook community. Does that make sense? Let me know down below if there's any questions around that. I will answer that towards the end because I am getting a few in the Q&A. So if you have that objection that your clients only want a face-to-face trainer, figure out what their goals are and what the challenges are right now. So is their goal weight loss, to get stronger, healthier lifestyle, whatever their goal is, like maybe they have a bit of an injury they want some help with, like whatever that is, figure out what their goals and challenges are right now. With face-to-face training, it's not as flexible. You have to show up at a specific time or a specific date that no longer exists. So basically the key thing you want to get across with this is, hey, it fits in their schedule. It's more flexible for them. Why wouldn't they choose it? You made them now aware of the advantages of online training, right? So online trainer basics, the only 4 things you need to have down in your order to thrive with your online business. A really, really good offer, right? So a 12-week program, yeah, it's okay offer, but how can we make that really, really good? I'm going to show you in the next couple of slides. The second thing you need is a great marketing strategy to generate leads, because maybe you have the most amazing program ever, right? But how do we get people to know about it? Otherwise, it'll be you just doing the program, right? You'll be the only one knowing how amazing this is. So how do we get this point across? The next step is a sales process. So when people are interested, how do we take them from a lead into a client? What's the process there? And the third step is community. So if you have community, you're going to have better retention strategies. right? People are gonna stay, they're gonna make friends, they're gonna keep each other motivated. It's gonna make your job easier. It's also gonna increase your impact you have with your clients. Let me know down below if that makes sense. If there's any questions, feel free to type them down below as well. Cool. Okay, so this is one of the biggest questions I get from any client I coach or mentored. It's, Claudia, what's the best price to charge for online coaching? And it's almost like that, like, how long is a piece of string, right? Who here, like, I would love to get some engagement here. If I was gonna say, hey, let's have your online program, how much is the first price that comes to your head per week? Like, what would you want to be charging? I love to like just get the first price off your head. 65, cool. 80, cool. And what you'll notice is a few people will answer different things, and there's no right or wrong amount. It has to be an amount that feels good to you. But what I'm going to do is give you a baseline and my recommendations from coaching a lot of people in the last couple of years. Oh, slides always love to go back. So pricing for online trainers. What I like to say is go as high as you can. What's the first price that you really want to charge? Not the price that you think people pay because it's low, it's a lower investment or it's cheaper. So you like people actually do it because it's just low investment. Don't compete with your prices. If the only reason your prospects decide to join and it's because you're cheap, it will always be a race down to the bottom because everyone's always going to try to compete against each other. It'll be a race down to the bottom until it's free, until maybe you're paying them to do your online program, right? So don't compete with your prices. Think about what's the quality of your services. Like if it's super valuable, you put time and effort into your program, you give them a lot of support, they're always in contact with you. Like how much is that worth? It's worth a lot. It's probably worth more than $30. It's probably worth more than $40. You want to charge maybe as much as you would charge in person for one session, right? Your online clients will not pick you because they're the cheapest. Because let's be honest, they can go online or go Google, go on YouTube and find workouts. They will pick you because they believe you can get them results. They believe you can keep them accountable. They like you as a person and your content's authoritative, and it also builds trust. Yeah, I can see some stuff about insurance on the chat. We'll cover that later, and I'm sure there's guidelines with AusActive as well. Does anyone have any questions about the pricing? I can see a couple on the chat. Cool. Okay, we'll answer these at the end. So with pricing for online trainers, work out how many hours you're going to be spending writing the program, like what your check-in process looks like. Are you going to give them a check-in form? Are you going to do a weekly 15-minute call? Are you going to be messaging them on WhatsApp or contacting them through email or Facebook Messenger during the week? That takes time, and that is your time, right? So work out how many hours that is going to be. Maybe writing the initial program is 1.5 hours. Then making edits every 4 to 5 weeks could be extra 30 minutes to an hour. Weekly check-ins can be a half an hour or maybe more if they message you and need support. And also if they're sending you videos or they're sending you check-in forms, you might need to like look at that, and that's your time. So people think, oh, I've written them a program, I'll message them. There's actually more parts to it, and you have to be aware of that before you price your services. So let's say you spend 2 hours writing the program, but the client needs changes every 2 to 4 weeks. Let's add an extra 2 hours. They message you 4 times a week. Now does that $100 a week? So I'm just using $100 a week as a baseline. Does it seem like that much when you do the math and consider all the above, the check-ins, the accountability, writing the programs, editing programs? That's why, from my experience, premium pricing works better and can be more leveraged. Like anyone here, anyone watching this, if you had to write the program, edit it, reply with messages, check their form, give them a call, maybe give them some support with like nutrition, would like, would you really charge $30 for that? Probably not, because then you'd be paying yourself like $5 an hour. You want to charge a more premium pricing, because then you can take less clients, but you can give them better quality service, right? So pricing structures and packages. Example one, one-on-one coaching, that could look like $100 a week, or it could be more, whatever feels good for you and whatever depends on your experience as well. So $100 a week, one-on-one coaching, they get access to you. Another option could be group coaching. So you write them a program, but they don't necessarily get access to you. What will happen is they will come into a group. So maybe weekly, you guys do a weekly call in a group. It's all your clients. They ask you questions. You catch up with them in the call. So now it's less one-on-one. They might be able to still message you, but they don't get the one-on-one calls that you would maybe do with them, right? What does the check-in include? Jeremiah, I'll answer that at the end. I can give you an example of that. And then the third option could be something that is a bit more leveraged, which is online customized programs or generic programs, right? So you can do a customized one. Let's say you have a client, Sally, she wants to get stronger with her squat. She wants to lose a bit of weight. You can write her a custom program for that 12 weeks and charge her a once-off fee. If she wants to edit it, you can customize that fee and make it a little higher. Or what you can do is you can also offer just generic programs, so people know these aren't custom and personalized for their goals. It's just stuff they can follow when they go to the gym themselves. This can be more leveraged because now they don't have the accountability, but you don't have to give them like your time, and that's why it's a cheaper cost, right? I prefer the one-on-one. I feel like people get the most results there. The group coaching is really, really great for community. Some people do like to just sell once-off programs, and generally when they've filled up their one-on-one, they're like, okay, what else can I do? Does that make sense? Let me know down in the comments below. So, okay, cool. Makes sense. Your irresistible offer. Earlier, I gave you example, hey, a 12-week training program. Yeah, it's cool. That's great. But it's not super enticing. Like 12 weeks training, customized program sounds great. But it's all right. Like it's just online coaching. Or we can have the second version, example 2, online coaching with weekly check-in calls. So there's a 15-minute call. They might even do a weekly check-in form, a 12-week personalized training program, nutrition supports, like just a grocery list, like about like what they can buy when they're like Coles or Woolies, a healthy recipe ebook, just like of meal ideas. You don't need to give them meal plans or anything because that's for nutritionists, but you can give them support, maybe just like healthy snacks, daily accountability with messenger support, and then also monthly masterclass. And for you, this could be when you get an expert, maybe it's a physio, maybe it's a nutritionist, maybe it's a women's expert, or maybe it's a mindset coach or someone that comes in every single month and you get different people in different months and comes in and does a 45-minute masterclass to teach your client stuff. This is going to be super, super valuable. And I've seen this happen so many times that clients get so much value just from that masterclass every month. So what would you buy? Would you buy example 1 or would you buy example 2? I'd go for example 2. I get all of that. I get personalized coaching, check-ins, nutrition support, accountability, and masterclass. Can you see how when you market it, example 2 is a lot more enticing? When you talk to people on the phone, you're having conversations on Messenger, 2 sounds better. 1 is just like, okay, get a customized training program. But let's be honest, like that is okay, but you want your offer to be irresistible. People like, okay, cool. Couple questions there. I'll come back to that at the end. So how do I get people into the program? Let me know down below. I'd love to hear some of your ideas. Maybe you guys can even get some ideas from each other, but I'd love to know, how do we get people in this online training program? We have the best product in the area. How do we get people into this? Right? So one of the best things I like to do, and I tell my clients to do, I take them through the system, is doing a beta launch. And this is pretty much a test launch, right? So what you can do is go, hey, I'm looking to start a online fitness program this month. I'm looking for 3 specific people that are ready to lose fat and get back into routine. If you're willing to take a fitness and health to the next level, and you can see people are like interested. So what this does, it starts conversation. Will all these people sign up? Like all the 10 people sign up? Probably not, but it creates trust because you can talk. Grace now can talk to these people about their goals, how they can achieve their goals, what to do, give them strategies, and this builds rapport and trust. And maybe someone will come back later. Maybe there's some people right now that are super ready and they're ready just to go. You're doing a bit of a test launch, right? So just putting it on your social media, whether it's on your Facebook, your email list, on your Instagram, just doing a bit of a launch. Another thing you can do is just write a bit of content like, hey, want to hear like my secret? This is what I do. Like I do Pilates workout sessions at home. If you want to be one of the first people to hear about it, just comment down below. I'll add you to my wait list, right? So look, she got 15 comments. Are all those people gonna sign up? No, but if you want to build an online business, you want to build an amazing online business, you want to build a long-term strategy, not just get immediate results, but build a rapport, put out content. Who here, let me know in the chat, who here puts out content on their Instagram or their Facebook at the moment? Or who here knows they want to put out more content so they've got more brand authority online? Amazing. So how do we create these online programs? There's so many ways to do this. And this is where a lot of people can get stuck because they're like, okay, I want to be an online coach, but just so overwhelmed through tech. Like technology is so overwhelming, right? Who here feels like that sometimes? Like technology is like super, super overwhelming. Algorithms change all the time. How do I deliver this program? Is it an app? Is it a Google Sheet? Like, what is it? What did I do? Right? I'm even overwhelmed talking about it. But there's so many ways. I'm going to share with you different ways and my suggestions. But no, Lucy, you're not old. You can use a training app. So Trainerizer, Quick Coach, True Coach. I think they're free for the first 5 clients. Quick Coach is completely free. So you can use one of those. Next one is a Google Sheet. So you can write your program on a Google Sheet and give it to them. You can give them on a Word document. You can give it to them on Zoom. You can give them on ebooks, and no one's got an excuse for ebooks. I'm literally giving them to you guys for free if you've DM'd me. So you can do that. Believe me, it doesn't matter where you host your online program. What matters is you get them results and they get a transformation. They get the support from you and they get accountability from you. They just want to know that they're heard, that they have support. Like I always say this, you could literally write your program. Don't do this, but you can literally write your program on a piece of paper, like week 1 to 12, put it in a bottle, and give it to mailer pigeon. And if it gets the results, your clients will not care where it's hosted as long as it gets some results, but probably don't do that in 2023. But it really doesn't matter where the program is. It just matters how much support you give them and the process that you have. But a lot of people are doing it in the apps. A lot of people are doing it on ebook or Word document. You can do that. It's pretty easy to set up these days because after lockdowns, everyone pretty much made it super, super simple for PTs. So at the moment, if you guys are online, face-to-face personal trainers, you have the opportunity to add your online services to your current clients, past clienteles, to upsell or increase your rates if they can no longer make it to your face-to-face. So add your online services to your current or past clientele. So if you have clients right now that you know could do a little bit more accountability, like maybe they need to increase their steps, maybe they stack too much and they want some support and like to ask you questions, right? So like there's always like people always have questions. People always have questions about fitness, health, lifestyle. You can charge people for that. You can upsell them. Like it doesn't have to be much. And I'll talk about that in a moment. But if someone's paying you for face-to-face training, but they want additional programming, maybe they want to come to the gym a few times on their own. Maybe they want to build nutrition support. I'm not saying meal plans, but just like, hey, like what's healthy eating look like? Maybe they just want a bit of accountability. You can add that as a service. If a client is leaving and you have a good relationship with them, ask them if they want to continue training with you online and charge them the same as you were face-to-face. It's an opportunity for you to start getting clients. And then if someone's currently a client, they want a bit more support, you can add an extra $30, $40 in their weekly personal training prices. But if someone's leaving, it's such a good opportunity to start that online process and that transition, because if they're already paying it anyway, they don't notice a difference because they've already paid you for the last 1 or 2 years. They like you because they've stayed with you for that long. You can train them on Zoom. You can train them, like they can just follow a program and you can keep them accountable. You can coach them on correct form, keep them motivated. Let me know if that makes sense. But most importantly, let people know what you do online. Because if people don't know what you do online, they can't purchase your online program because they don't know you exist, right? Who here, if you're online coach or you're a personal trainer, you want to go online, when's the last time you actually posted on social media that you offer this? If you haven't posted in the last month, of course, people aren't buying it because they don't know it exists, right? If you post content, like you post testimonials of your in-person client, you might have someone that lives far away that goes, hey, do you do online clients? If you post photos with tips around fitness, around training, correct form, you might get people that go, hey, I don't actually go to the gym, but I've got a home gym. Can you write me a program? You don't know how often this happens when clients like start posting like, why did I not do this a year ago? I don't know. I don't know why you didn't do a year ago, but you need to put content out there because if people don't know, they cannot buy. Make sense? Okay, we're going to move into retention strategies, and then I'm going to spend the last 15, 20 minutes answering all your questions. Retention strategies. When people are joining your online program, like they're paying $100 a week, send them a gift to welcome them. This can be something that's physical, especially if you're online service. People go, oh, like it's just online. But when they get a gift in the mail, maybe it's a book, maybe it's a training journal, a resistance band, a skipping rope, yoga mat. They go, oh, you're actually like, it's a nice gesture to surprise them. But it also reminds them, even if you're training them online, you're going to still hold them accountable as if they were training in person, right? Make sense? Like, if they were training in person, online, it's just a small gesture, like $10 yoga mat, $15 yoga mat from Kmart. I can't even tell you how many times I've coached people online. And when they start, I send them like a book, like just a mindset book. And they're like, it's so random for you to send that. Like I always just thought like, it just didn't seem like, now it seems real. That's the thing. Your business seems more real, and they almost take you a bit more seriously as well. Check-in forms and calls. So like do weekly check-ins, do weekly calls with them, keep them accountable, because 7 days is a long time, and 7 days is a long time for you to just really like, for them to like fall off track. So keep them accountable. If you're going to do weekly check-in calls, don't do them on Monday. Do them on Wednesday or Thursday or Friday. Because if you do that, then that's when people start to drop off. And if you've had a call with them for 15 minutes, they're going to still keep themselves accountable for the rest of the week, and they're not going to go falling off. The last one is get them results. If you have a really, really great offer and you get them results, there's no reason they're not going to re-sign for another 12 weeks. They're going to stay on for 6 to 12 months. There's no reason. If they're looking great, they're feeling great, they have so much energy, they're getting results, they're going to stay on. So that's really something you want to focus on. If you do all of them, amazing, great. If you do one of them, it's enough. And then you can maybe implement the other one. What you can do as well is send client-only newsletters. So you might have client only emails that are just like small time, like you maybe take 10, 15 minutes writing it, 30 minutes writing it. It helps them feel part of exclusive community, which helps nurture their loyalty to you. You could do this weekly, fortnightly, monthly. I just say just monthly or maybe every quarter, because people love it. They love like client of the month, client spotlight, feature someone, just reward them. It could be exclusive, like healthy eating recipe. That could be a recipe of the week that you get online, training tips or recaps of what's been happening in your community, right? And yeah, Renee, this can absolutely be done in a Facebook group instead of email. I have a lot of clients just do Facebook groups because emails, they don't like email. I know sometimes people don't read their email. So people do it on Facebook groups. You can use like online communities on Trainerize to do it. All these suggestions are just another way to add value to your clients. Okay. Because yeah, they can get a free workout online, but they're not going to get all this support, right? You can create online Facebook group community. On that community, you can do weekly challenges. So week 1 is a no sugar challenge. Week 2 is a step challenge. Week 3 is share recipe challenge. Week 4 is like a workout you give them, whatever that is. People are supportive in there of each other's goals, and they might have questions which you can answer, and then answers the questions for everyone in that community. You can do weekly Q&As. You can have clients of the weeks, the same as the newsletter, call out any wins, share like clients that have achieved something to keep each other motivated. And I don't mean like they've lost a lot of weight. Maybe they stuck to their sessions and they showed up, even though they had a crazy week. Maybe they supported someone in the community and really encouraged a newbie in the community, whatever that could be. You want to celebrate that, really make people feel like they're part of a community. So that makes sense. I went through that really fast because I know there's a few questions that I want to answer. Makes sense? All good? I'm going to move on. Cool. Also, I think some people talked about insurance earlier and just like guidelines, training people online. AusActive actually have guidelines, so you can scan that QR code, bookmark it and save it there. I'm sure that covers that. Or if it doesn't, you can email them and ask them a bit more about that with insurance, because that's not I'm only sales and marketing. So if you guys want to learn a little bit more about that, I do have a high ticket course. So it's $100 off only for people that are on this webinar. So you can scan that QR code if you like, and it just goes through everything we spoke about today, but a lot more in depth, about Facebook ads, about sales, about generating leads, retentions, your offer, how to craft your specific offer. You can scan that, and I'll drop a link in the chat in a second. If you want something that's a bit more done for you, I talked about having done for you workouts that you can sell. This is my workout program collection. There's 9 customer training programs there. So it's written by an EP and designed by a graphic designer, and you can sell them, you can rebrand them, you can put it as a value add with your online coaching. So you're welcome to scan that. If you do want some free programs, just DM me. I will give that to you. So just follow me and DM me, and I will share that over there. And then let me know anyone have any takeaways in the chat, and then let me know as well, share one takeaway and any questions. I'm actually going to
I think Claudia's frozen. So we just might
scroll
give her a second just to see if she comes back.
Up to find the questions, because I know some people. Can you hear me? Am I still here?
You just froze for a second, Claudia.
Am I good now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, cool. Technology. Jason, let me know if that's answered or you want me to expand that. What is the number one, Meredith asked, what is the number one reason move forward that clients want online? Clients usually want online because it's a bit more flexible and they can train at their own pace. And a lot of the times as well, they do want like a bit more support. So like someone messaging them a couple of days during the week, because they feel like they could slip up with their habits. Yep, you can have Kaylee. Yep, I'll just go back. That is the QR code. Jeremiah, yes. Jeremiah, can you ask your question again? I'm just trying to scroll up to find it. Oh, everyone's telling me I'm frozen. What do your check-ins include? Cool. So I will actually, if you guys have notes here, I will actually read some questions I ask my clients with check-ins, but make it a bit more fitness related. I always go, I'm just pulling this out. So these are some questions I ask. I'm like, what would you rate yourself for this week like with your training and nutrition? And I just go in a bit from a scale to 1 to 10, 10 being amazing, smashed it, 1 being like, no, I didn't smash it. So that's one of the questions. What was a win I had this week? It's really important for you to get your clients to celebrate wins. Is there anything you want to focus on an upcoming call and check-in call that you want help with? Is there anything I can do to support you? Are you worried about anything in particular? Does that make sense? So just asking them a couple of questions like, how is their sleep? And that could be in a form. And then you talk about that when you're on a call with them, or you might do like a voice message with them. Yeah. Cool. What's the most successful format for online? I have found app, trainer, like something like Trainerize or Quick Coach. I think the first 5 are free, like first 5 clients. It's usually great because you can keep everything on the app, because you can message them on the app, you can remind them on the app, you can write their program on the app, you can send them videos on the app, and Google Sheets as well. Some of my clients do, because they just don't want to use app, and then they take the messaging on WhatsApp or Messenger. So I would say probably the app and Google Sheets with a form of messaging. And then how does daily accountability work and a monthly must? So daily accountability might just be like every day you have a set time, you block out time and you just message them, hey, how are you going with everything? Is there anything I can do? Like, or just like, how's your training going? How's your nutrition going? Just ask them a question, or just go like, hey, I'm just checking in. And a monthly masterclass, that's not really accountability. It's just to get the community together, because these people might not ever meet each other. And then you get a speaker to talk about something that they're an expert in, like a women's health expert, a nutritionist, a physio that might talk about mobility and flexibility. You might get a yoga teacher that run a yoga class. Let me know if that answers your questions. And then how to organize time, then how much time does it take to facilitate all the client's needs? I would like to say after initial setup, so like you run a program, it might like their time is probably between 1.5 to 2 hours a week, because they will come, like there might be some times you do need to coach them online, which is like you just voice message them, reply to their messages, and then also any edits they need to make. So I will give yourself like 1.5 hours to put that time aside, the check-ins, the check-in calls, right? Is there any other questions? I'm just going to keep scrolling up. Does anyone else have any questions? How would the best way to network other coaches as mentors, such as yourself? You can follow me on Instagram and you can ask me stuff if you like. And I can also put you in contact with like other people as well, like let you know about workshops or anything like that. If that answers your question, Stephen. But yeah, like there's community groups as well. Like you can join with other personal trainers, other like business coaches, online coaches. I would also go to events. I think Filex, there's a lot of online coaches that go to there. There's also other events that are in Australia. I just can't remember exactly what they're called, but I can give you a list of other events. I used to, when I was a personal trainer, I went to workshops and I would meet other coaches there and would like, that's the way to network. Let me know if that answers your question. If you need help with marketing materials, website update, can you recommend? Yeah. Do you mean updating your website and like creating content, if you want to message me, Catherine, I can give you some recommendations. It just really depends on what your goals are. So I don't want to just give random recommendations if it's for your in-person or your online. Another one is how to get people to open their emails, Jill. How to get people to open their emails is, if it's your clients, they'll actually already open them. If it's not your clients and it's just people that have been added to your database, best way to get them to open it is probably having a really catchy subject line. I don't know if anyone follows Fitness Education Online's emails, but if you do, you might have opened it because I had a very catchy subject line. Your clients, you just remind them. So maybe you can send a text that, hey, your email's gone out. Take a look. If it's your clients, it's a lot easier. They usually will open it. What happens if clients don't have access to the gym, want to do home workouts? Then what I would say is, shameless plug, there is a home workout guide in here, but also you just write your program that's home workouts. So you can just write like body weight stuff. Maybe you can do stuff with dumbbells, but they just use like milk bottles. I've had clients do like milk bottles, hold like a watermelon for like a medicine ball. It's really random, but that's what I would do. Instagram name is this one. So if you guys want to follow me and you have any other questions, I'm happy to answer them as well. I'll just put it down below. Could you run an online business just with bodyweight exercise? Yeah, absolutely. Like calisthenics is all online. Sorry, not all online, all bodyweight. And there's people have built businesses based on calisthenics, right? Makes sense? So you can, people do like training with weights, but you can also like do resistance bands. Especially if you're a lot of women, they usually like just a yoga mat, a few dumbbells, and they're quite easy to create a program for because they just want to move. Some people, if they just want a home workout, they don't want to be the strongest person ever. They just want to be healthier, improve their energy. How do you protect client info on email? Make sure you have a 2-step verification on your Gmail so you don't get hacked, and don't click random links. That's what I would say. Does anyone else have any questions? Let's go back on. Thanks so much, Michelle. Thanks for coming. If anyone has any more questions, I talk very fast and I finished this very early. Here's a free gift if you guys want online training programs. I will reply to these either tonight or tomorrow morning. You can just follow on my Instagram and just message me the word ebooks and I'll share that over. Cool. Sorry, I think I'm pausing a little bit. Does anyone else have any more questions? I think that might be it. How do we access to ebooks? Yes, you just scan that QR code if it on the right-hand side, and then I will send that over to you later today. No problem. You can follow me on Facebook. If you guys are having issues with the ebook or anything, just send me a DM and I'll fix it after the webinar. Yes. Kaylee, I will, if you want to DM me, I'll send you a link. I think it should work, but maybe it doesn't. So I will fix that later. Cool. Thanks so much, guys, for coming to this webinar. Any questions, feel free to DM me, pop them here. I'll still be here for the next 5-10 minutes. If you want to connect, and Isabella, they're asking about a survey for CECs.
Yeah, so the survey will be when you exit the webinar, it'll pop up and just fill that out and you'll get an automatic CEC for attending today's session.
Amazing. Thanks for that. So what she said. I will send you my Facebook for people that don't have Instagram. And if you have any questions, we can just connect there. I will answer them here. But I'm going to be here for the next probably five or so minutes if anyone has any questions.
Thanks so much, everyone, for joining today as well. And thanks, Claudia, for such a fantastic webinar. I definitely learned a lot. So hopefully all our members did as well. And yeah, hopefully you guys can connect with Claudia after this webinar.
Amazing. Gosh, it's hot in Sydney today. Yeah, for anyone else that's in Sydney.
All right, well, we might wrap it up there.
Amazing.
If you have any questions for Claudia, please feel free to reach out to her with her Instagram or Facebook, and she'll be able to answer any questions and any unanswered questions that you guys have. But yeah, thanks everyone for joining today, and we'll see you for our next webinar.
See you guys later.
Bye, everyone.